I found out she cheated. I didn't scream or beg. I ruined the one thing she cared about. I, 34M, had been married to my wife, L, 31F, for 6 years. On paper, everything looked great. We had a nice house, 2 cars, decent jobs, and everyone thought we were the perfect couple. But about a year ago, I started noticing some changes. She was glued to her phone, working late more often, and her attitude toward me was cold. At first, I chalked it up to stress. Her job in finance was demanding. But then little things didn't add up. Girls' nights with friends who later told me they hadn't seen her in months. Business trips that mysteriously lined up with weekends. And one night, she got a text while in the shower. Her laptop lit up with a message that said, "I can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing." My stomach dropped. I wanted to confront her right then. But instead, I took screenshots, forwarded them to myself, and kept my cool. Over the next few weeks, I gathered evidence. I synced her cloud account to mine, collected hotel receipts, emails, calendar invites, the works. By the end of the month, I had a digital folder with enough proof to blow her world apart. Now here's the thing. Her affair partner wasn't just some random fling, it was her subordinate at work. The company she worked for has a very strict policy against supervisors dating employees, especially in her department, where she had influence over his promotions and pay. So I made a plan. I pretended nothing was wrong. Kissed her goodbye before business trips, cooked dinner, even listened to her complain about how busy she was. Meanwhile, I reached out to a lawyer, because guess what? Before we got married, she was the one who insisted on a prenup. She was making more than me at the time, and she wanted to protect her assets. That prenup? It saved my ass and doomed hers. Fast forward to D-Day. I scheduled a private meeting with HR at her company. I dropped off a neat, organized folder with dates, times, screenshots, and even hotel receipts. I didn't embellish. I just laid out the facts. Then I walked out. 2 days later, I served her divorce papers at home. I'll never forget the look on her face. Shock, confusion, and then panic. She tried to spin it, claiming it was just emotional, that she needed attention, that I'd neglected her. But the timing was perfect. While she was trying to explain, she got an email from her boss. She was suspended pending investigation. By the end of the week, she was fired. But here's where it gets better. I tracked down her affair partner's wife. Yup, he was married too. I didn't even have to convince her. I just handed over the same evidence folder. She kicked him out the very same night. And where did my wife end up moving after losing her cushy job and our house? Into a crappy studio apartment that ironically belonged to her affair partner's ex-wife, who had just taken back control of it in the divorce. So, let's recap. She lost her job, her reputation, her affair partner's marriage, and her lifestyle. Thanks to the prenup, she got basically nothing from me except her personal belongings and her car. Meanwhile, I kept the house, my retirement accounts, and, best of all, my peace of mind. She tried begging, then she tried threatening. Then she tried crying to her parents, who called me to work it out. I calmly told them about the evidence, the job loss, and the prenup. They haven't called since. Now, months later, I'm sitting on my deck with a glass of whiskey, watching the sunset over the yard she once bragged about. She's unemployed, single, and broke. I hear she's bouncing between dead-end jobs and barely making rent. Her affair partner? Divorced? Broke? And living with his brother. The best part of all this wasn't the revenge itself. It was keeping my cool the entire time, letting her believe she was pulling one over on me, and then calmly pulling the rug out from under her when she least expected it. As for me, I'm doing just fine. I've been hitting the gym, spending more time with friends, and even dipping my toes back into dating. Life is a whole lot lighter when you cut out dead weight. And honestly, the sweetest revenge wasn't destroying her life. It was watching her destroy it all by herself. I just handed her the matches.